And finally, an update on the whereabouts of Augustus Gloop. Augustus Gloop, that great big greedy nincompoop, has gone up a pipe, up to a room, but don't dear children be alarmed. This nincompoop will not be harmed, although we must admit he will be altered quite a bit. He'll be changed from what he's been when he goes through the fudge machine. Slowly the wheels go round and round, the cogs begin to grind and pound, 100 knives go slice, slice, slice. We'll add some sugar, cream and spice and boil him for a minute more until we're absolutely sure that all the greed and all the gall is boiled away for once and all. Then out he comes, and now by grace a miracle has taken place. This greedy brute, this louse's ear, is loved by children everywhere, for who could hate or bear a grudge against a piece of Wonka fudge? Good evening. Okay, and then this one I'm going to have to read off of here.
Oh, that's fine. Actually, the framing's good, paper's out, so...
Okay. Dear Miss Manners, I belong to a book club that meets once a month. Several of our members have become increasingly domineering during the discussion, belittling other people's opinions, and this creates bad feelings. How can I restore order to an increasingly tension-filled meeting? Very simple. Kick the fuckers out of your prissy little club and find replacements with a more courteous disposition. Don't expect polite suggestions, pointed remarks, or even angry reprimands to dampen the almost primal need of egocentric loudmouth pissants to spew inane rhetoric, moronic observations, and bitter condescension from their over-dilated cake-holes for hours on end, especially not at book club meetings. I know, I am such a pissant, and you'd have to throw me out and attack me with a garden rake to shut me up. Dear Miss Manners, at my workplace, there is always a collection going for a wedding or shower gift. Often I pass on contributing because...
As the '64 season got underway, the Canadiens' front office made a significant change. At 72, Frank Selke retired and was succeeded by Sam Pollock.
Discipline with Sam Pollock was very, very strict. And if you didn't do it, it doesn't matter who you were gone.
Very famous organization. There's always a great deal of apprehension when you take over a team like that.
To succeed again, the Canadiens needed to come back the Leafs
of their win.
The new Canadiens got bigger and stronger. John Ferguson was the lightning rod.
Yeah, I wanted to be the meanest son of a bitch that ever put on a pair of skates.
Toughening up produced results.
I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but starting in '65, we started to win Stanley Cup again.
Toronto was knocked off in a 6-game semi-final. Montreal went on to beat Chicago. The spring's most valuable player. Montreal in May was a game as it should be. The Canadiens were comfortable with their newfound strength. They would go on to finish first. Imlac's Leafs, meanwhile, were dogged with problems. Brewer walked out.
I felt that I could no longer go on with Punch Imlac. There were others felt differently, and they really didn't pay any attention to Punch Imlac, whereas he got to me, and he got to Frank Mahowich, and he got to Michael Walton, and he destroyed our psyches.
I think I really reached my peak here in Toronto the way I should have developed. And it was the style that he played, and I thought we worked too hard. There wasn't anything left for me to give come game time.
With Brewer gone and his team in disarray, Imlac was in the stands as Tobleg's Canadiens captured Montreal's 14th cup in the spring of '66. There was little reason to suspect they wouldn't win again next year. Sam Pollock now had 2 cups in 2 years. Centennial Expo in Montreal. The city wanted the cup to celebrate. A trophy case lay waiting in Quebec's pavilion. After surviving Punch Imlac's late-season illness, the veteran Maple Leafs were determined to ruin Montreal's festivities.
We were the over-the-hill gang, you know, and nobody gave us a chance because most of us were getting up in age. In fact, we knew it was going to be our last last whack at the cup.
So like Frank Mahovlich, George Armstrong,
John Ferguson,
Stemkowski,
Relevant.
Sawchuck,
Yvonne Cornoyer, Johnny Bauer, Pocket Rocket, Mahovlich,
Mickey Duff,
Eddie Shack,
Ferguson.
Tim Horton, Bob Pulford. I mean, the real dog.
Toe Blake.
Punch and Toe were going at each other all the time just to make the pot boil.
They put on a better show than the players did. They were terrific.
Imlach made light of rookie goaltender Rogie Vachon.
Punch says, they'll never beat me with a junior B goaltender. I said, whoa, hold it. Punch, you know what you just said? He says, yes, I know what I said.
When the series began in Montreal, the Leafs and Canadiens had met 14 times during the season. They knew one another well. Understandably, no one gave much thought to next year's expansion when the teams would play less often.
It became a very, very special year, and I don't think we realized it at the time. As time has gone on, I look back and say, wow, that was the final series of the old 6-team league.
Montreal ran roughshod over the Leafs in Game 1, their contempt for Toronto fueling determination.
those are the Maple Leafs, and we just had to beat them. One night we're in George's Spaghetti House, and Eddie Shack come in and sat down next table. I hadn't even got my steak yet. I threw $20 on the table and got up and walked out. And that's how it was.
And fans had written off his team. Imlach boldly announced the Leafs would win. Johnny Bauer replaced Terry Sawchuck for Game 2.